What's up, everyone? It's Books and Looks TV. So today I'm going to do a reaction video on the Texas woman, Tierra Allen, who is a trucker from Houston, Texas. It says that she was arrested for basically yelling in Dubai. And I'm just going to read the news article and how a Dubai newspaper responded. So according to CBS News, a Houston woman is trapped in the United Arab Emirates after being briefly detained for shouting in public during an argument with a Dubai car rental company. A London-based organization trying to help her get out of the country has told CBS News. Social media influencer Tierra Young Allen, 29, known to fans online as a sassy trucker, was arrested in May following a confrontation with a male employee of a car rental company in Dubai who was trying to intimidate her into paying thousands of dollars she didn't owe. According to Radha Sterling, CEO and founder of DETAINED in Dubai, the international nonprofit organization that's working to free her. So this happened. She went to Dubai for a vacation and she left something in a rental car, and basically it's saying that whoever was working there told her she had to pay. To me, there is a CEO and founder of Detained in Dubai. It seems like that this is common, either this hustle, because I've read different comments that saying it's a hustle for this to happen and other things similar to happen in the UAE. But the fact that an international nonprofit organization exists for this just goes to show that there is a need, to me, for human rights. It goes on to say Sterling said Allen was arrested on May 16th and released on bail later that day, but her passport is being held by authorities, preventing her from leaving the UAE. She was told at the police station, Bur Dubai, she has been accused of shouting under the UAE's laws is illegal under offensive behavior, which is unclear and subjective regulation, but warrants up to 2 years in prison, a fine, and deportation, Sterling told CBS News on Thursday. CBS News requested comment for this story on Thursday from the Dubai police and the UAE Foreign Ministry, but have not received replies by the time of publication. A spokesperson for the U.S. Department of State told CBS News that it was aware Allen was unable to depart Dubai and that it was providing all appropriate assistance. The department remains in regular communication with her and her family, the spokesperson said, adding that it will continue to monitor her case closely. Detained in Dubai contacted the office of Texas U.S. Senate Ted Cruz directly, and Cruz's office confirmed to CBS News that representatives had spoken with Allen's family and contacted the Department of State about the case. Now, I don't know how Representative Ted Cruz is going to respond. I think Ted Cruz was a representative who was found leaving the country during COVID, and she is a black woman. Texas is a Republican state, so there's no telling how he will respond. In the sense of her being American, he might respond to get her out, but I think generally it's just up in the air to me. Anyway, it says Senator Cruz will continue to gather details and engage on this case until Miss Allen is returned home to her family, his office said. Okay, we'll see. Sterling said Allen's mother, Tina Baxton, had also contacted Representative Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas' 18th Congressional District, who was also looking into the matter. Jackson Lee's office did not immediately reply to CBS News requests for a comment on this story. We have advised our offices how governmental representatives are best able to help in these situations and hope for her speedy return home. Sterling, who was also a lawyer specializing in Middle East legal matters, told CBS News Jackson Lee's office did not immediately respond to requests for comment. And now it says a quote-unquote common rental car extortion scheme. And again, that's what I heard, that this is normal in Dubai. I think that's another thing we need to realize. I hear all of the talk about, oh, you have to obey laws, etc. when you're abroad. And that is true. But I also think that sometimes even when you obey laws, it's you compared to a native. They're always going to pick the native because that's someone they see all the time, and also that is a patriarchal land. Unfortunately, when people do things against visitors, it's not always, even though they said they have laws, etc., because I've lived abroad, I haven't broken any laws, but I've just witnessed and heard stories of people being played or tricked by natives in certain countries. And even if you report it, a lot of times, unless you maybe have a translator or have someone from their country to speak for you, whether it be a lawyer or whatever, they're still going to side with the person from their country. And since they have a business, maybe that person is doing shady things to foreigners, but it's hidden behind the business. And let me just continue the story. It says Allen was not allowed to retrieve her belongings from the rental vehicle and later noticed that several fraudulent charges were attempted on her credit cards, which were in the back of the vehicle she returned, Sterling said. someone was already charging her credit card. So to me, that does warrant anger. Now, I can't say whether or not I would have expressed that. I personally don't believe in going to the Middle East. But again, I could see why she was frustrated because she knew they were already stealing from her. It says the man who worked at the vehicle rental agency had initially accused Allen. The man who worked at the vehicle rental agency and initially accused Allen left the country. See, this man went to Pakistan after he filed the report. So for him, it's probably nothing. But look, she's stuck in Dubai. It says reports on Arabic media said the rental agency had offered to drop its case against Allen if she paid approximately $5,700. For what? For what, honey? Well, I'm guessing it hurt the reputation of the rental company. Maybe they feared maybe it would hurt the case to foreigners, but it is what it is. Or they probably just constantly trying to scam people out of money. But Sterling said there was evidence of a common scam used by rental agencies in the Arab Emirate. Honestly, though, if they was willing to drop the case for $5,700 and she got it, I think unfortunately she not in the States. That might be her quickest way out of it. I'm not sure, but I would just try to get home and pay the $5,700 if she has the money. Tierra is the latest American tourist to get caught up in what is a common rental car extortion scheme, she said. Rental car agencies are notorious for opening criminal cases against visitors with the promise to drop the case if they are paid off. That's horrible. Like, that's even more horrible. So you robbing the person and then you like, pay me and I'm gonna drop the case. Like, I don't know, that's weird. Prevalence of blackmail is damaging to the UAE's tourist and investment sectors, and Dubai's government needs to crack down on this abuse of process. It's true, they could be in on it. In another recent case, 3 Americans actually paid over $20,000 to a rental car agency that they did not owe just so they could get out of the country, the activist and lawyer said. See, that's so horrible. At this point, they need to have some lawyers. They need to have some lawyers or some Saudi people renting out them cars for them, or just, I don't know, rent a taxi. Just take a taxi because that's crazy. Sterling became active in the Middle East when her friend Kat Leahy was detained in Dubai. She led a campaign for his release in 2008, founding Detained in Dubai. So that's how this person over the organization got into it. That was like 15 years ago. She said Allen and her mother were becoming increasingly anxious and have been going through hell and have no idea what the outcome will be and when they might be reunited. Allen has not posted on her Sassy Truck media account since her arrest. She probably ain't got no phone. She ain't got no way to do that. You think she? No. And ain't no telling what they doing to her, God forbid. Again, this is a very unfortunate situation. And I'm just going to read some of the comments for y'all. It just amazes me how some people, like, what's the word? Like, they don't have any empathy. Like, people always say, oh, you go to other people's country. But them same people, they don't even be kind. People that are their neighbors, they don't speak. They don't show respect. So I just feel like if she was a white girl, they wouldn't be saying all of that, you know. And then again, you know how some people can naturally talk assertively. We don't know. We weren't there. I don't know. I just feel like when any black person is locked abroad, people say stuff like that. But let me just read the comments. So the first comment says, the very best thing she can do, if she has not already, is to retain some local counsel. There are pastors, missionaries in Dubai that might can help. You have to stop thinking about the quote-unquote injustice of not being treated equally and not being allowed to answer back when someone is screaming at you. Justice is different there. It doesn't really matter what you think is fair. The only thing that matters at this point is being released to come home. And the only way to possibly do that in short order is to be very humble, very contrite, of very few and carefully guarded words. There will be no tolerance for anything else. Again, I heard what these people saying. I agree with some of it because injustice there isn't the same here. I hate to say it, as much as like American women feel like we're living under a patriarchy, we really aren't compared to like women in the Middle East and women in a lot of countries. Can't say you can be humble if somebody's stealing from you. And I don't know the energy that was exchanged, but again, I would say try not to get in those situations. So I agree with her or him in some kind of ways. Show of hands, who actually knew this was a law, because there seems to be a lot of people saying follow the law, but they themselves don't even know Dubai law. They just know Dubai has strict laws. That's true. I'm thinking in general you can have an idea of like a country's laws or culture, but unless you like know somebody personally, I think it's really hard to like know like every little bitty law. And I think also because their language itself is Arabic, a lot of people don't speak Arabic to me in the US. So how would you know, especially if you aren't Islamic? But that's another reason again that probably shouldn't go to a country that you don't even practice the faith of that country. Someone else said Houston women just talk loud. I'm sure she wasn't screaming. That's funny. No one that values freedom should go to such a wretched country. Abuse and literal slavery are extremely prevalent there. Honestly, shame on anyone who gives them their money for a vacation. FFS. I don't know what FFS means. I do think that there is a lot of abuse and literal slavery that happens in Dubai, especially towards like foreigners or people from like poor countries. Someone else says it's okay for them to scam and yell at her. She can't respond in the same manner. Really? Remember, there are people that don't respect women, period, and they use that as a law. That's true. Someone else says, and that's why Dubai was never on my travel list, and this proves why. They were scamming her and was going to charge her credit card. That's why she yelled. The scammers used the law against her. Additionally, that is why it is best to have tourists escort with you when you are out and about in these countries. Hire at least one or two so that these people will not target you to scam or any type of ransom. And again, I think that's very true because it is a bit challenging to navigate if you don't know the language and or the culture and you're overseas. If you just have no idea of what's going on, it's good to know someone from the country and just to have somebody guide you. And that's why a lot of people do pay to like stay in resorts or be around other tourists. But at the same time, you just can't predict certain things. I don't think she predicted this. She was trying to probably go out to just have a good time, and unfortunately these things happened to her. Let me know what you think down below if you agree or disagree. Have you ever been to Dubai and has your experience been different? And thank you for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see you next time.
Fox 26's Domely Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domely.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tierra Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S. and the UAE embassies. Will government officials step in and give her assistance? I'm still awaiting responses. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Domely Keith, Fox 26 News.